What's going on, guys? Brewbard here, and today we are taking a look at the DayZ Standalone stream. Rocket did do another stream as he promised today, just to go over some of the changes that have been made, some of the changes that they plan to make, and really just give you a feel for the game, where they are, and not really. He didn't give a release date. He did say soon, which again, soon, but it does seem like they are getting very close. There are a few things that definitely do need to be changed and optimized. One of the biggest things he did have a problem with was when he logged out of one of the servers, he logged back in, and as you could see, he duplicated his character, and when he moved around, that character moved around with him. So he said that is one of the biggest bugs that's holding them back from a release, because it's putting a lot of strain on the server because you have two characters, people are logging in and out. You'll see it happens here again. So it's a highly replicatable bug, and so he feels that they should be able to fix it relatively soon. But he did have to log in and out quite a few times just to get it right. And a lot of the beginning of the stream was spent up north just running around. I don't know where he was. He did hit the end of the map, and then later on he had moved down to Balota. He got transported down there, and this is one of the non-enterable buildings from the mod. It's that, like, I guess it would be like a bunker barracks kind of place, and so they did make it enterable. They showed a lot of the enterable buildings and a lot of the loot. This is the read the book system. You can actually read the books. And then they moved from Balota to Chinaris. This is on the outskirts of Chinaris. This is one of the new residential areas where they have all the apartment buildings, and it was really cool to see a lot of the changes that they've made. And he does show off one of the apartment buildings. They go up into it, and this is another one of the testers that they end up killing, and this actually shows a perfect example of what Rocket was saying with loot being damaged. He damaged pretty much every piece of this guy's loot, so it was almost unusable. And when he takes the scope off and puts it on, if you haven't seen it already, it's all cracked and can't really see through it. So by killing this guy, he basically made the guy's loot garbage, because they implemented the damageable loot. And in the last stream he didn't have it on. Everything seemed like it was pristine, but they turned it on for this stream, and it gives you a lot of look into why you're going to want to be friendly with the people around you, or if you just don't care, because they found quite a bit of loot. They found M4s and stuff like that. But another one of the things is they are still having some server performance issues. At one point they dropped below the performance that they were looking for, and it caused a problem where he lost a portable cooker. So losing loot is still in it, and it's a bug that he definitely does want to get fixed. But while we're on the topic of loot, there's about 400 items in the game at the moment. They want to add a lot more, but that's not what's delaying the standalone, he said, because he can add the items as the game is released. And the items that he has in the game, he wants to make them all be able to be put in your hands so that you can utilize them. He wants every item to actually be a melee item, so like if you're holding a thing of duct tape, you can punch the person with the duct tape. So it's just, they have a lot of stuff that they've added. They have a lot of stuff that they want to add, and it's just pretty insane how far it's come and the big plans that they have for it. And right now they're actually going to work their way up. I thought it was pretty cool. They worked their way up one of these new apartment buildings that was built from the ground up. Every floor is enterable, I believe, and it's got furniture. I mean, it really looks like a damaged building from the apocalypse, something you'd see in like a movie. It was pretty awesome to see it. And then once they get up to the roof, you'll see the entire, you can see Chinaris, and they take a look down into downtown Chinaris. So overall it was a really good look into all the improvements that they've made to the game. And on top of these new apartment buildings, he did say that they've added quite a few military encampments. They've added quite a few things, and from the sounds of it, they're going to add quite a bit more after the release. Any items and stuff that he said that they were adding are not actually what's holding up the game from being released. He said that there's plenty of time once it's released to just really get all the stuff. They want to get just really crazy with some of the stuff that they add into the game after it's released. So the team's real goal right now is just to fix the game-breaking bugs, the dual character creation, really optimize it to a point where they're comfortable having X amount of people on a server, and then once they release it, they'll start to release all the new items. And while Dean explores the rest of the hotel, making his way up to the top, it's a 12-story building, we can address some of the other stuff that just has a big question about the DayZ Standalone. He did mention that modding is 100% confirmed. It's not going to be right at release, it's going to be later on, because they want to fix some of the architectural issues, some of the optimizations, before they let other people get their hands on it. But one of the cool things about modding with DayZ Standalone is people are going to be able to create their own stuff with these buildings that they've added, so that definitely adds something new to it. Have 12-story hotels on like Lingor Island would be pretty cool. Also, as far as the servers are concerned, when it's first released, they're going to have all the servers. I guess it's going to be like a trusted server group, kind of like Battlefield 4 does. And then as they get everything secure and perfect, they may release the server files. So as of right now, it seems like everything's going to be hived. For persistent items, it is going to be server specific. They're only about halfway there with persistent items, and what I mean by that is like tents and stuff like that. Now, right now you can see they're actually on the roof. This is actually showing off some of the attachments, but he did look around, and it was really awesome to see just the visuals. And if you have your view distance set right, you can almost see Electro past downtown Cherno, which I thought was just pretty amazing, because it really gives you a look into the amount of improvement that they've made for the graphics of the game. And Rocket did say that they're not going to stop there. They do have some other improvements. They're going to try to improve the way that the GPU is handled so that they can make it that much better. Once they came down from the building, they did run into this guy. They were on a they apparently have a whole bunch of test servers, and you probably saw screenshots of it on Reddit. And they have a whole bunch of testers that play on each server. So Rocket actually felt bad about him killing this guy. But he was fully geared out, so they did get some cool gear. This is one of the new battery operated scopes. It wasn't working, so when he put the battery on, it wouldn't turn on and off. But it is an alpha release, so they definitely will get all that stuff fixed as they go along. And I mean, the rest of the video really shows you a lot of Cherno. They haven't shown Cherno since PAX East, but that was just like a quick little portion of it and then a flyover of it, and they made just quite a few changes. They've added other apartment buildings other than the ones that they were just in. I think they said there was 3 in total. And then he moved into the downtown Chernarus area, showed us some of the buildings we're familiar with, some of the loot inside them, like the firehouse, the pub, things like that. There were also a lot of the other buildings that he went into that he said he never even saw yet, because they did make them enterable. And here he did pick up a new item, one of the optics for the pistols, so it shows off the attachment system, and that they could basically make attachments for any one of the guns. And here we see the famous Chernarus Hotel, which has the plane next to it. You can't actually go up in the hotel, he was saying, because I don't know why they just couldn't model it. He said it was either the go up in the hotel or they create the new buildings, the new apartment buildings that we were showing off before. And then we work our way through. There's a lot of just new residential apartment buildings. There's some factory buildings he goes into. So he really showed off just quite a bit of the different things. Like right here, he said he actually never even went into this building, so it's kind of like a, I don't know, I don't even know what you would describe this as, like a work area, I guess. So we're gonna have to come up with all new names for the buildings to identify them, and it's really gonna change the PvP gameplay, because you can actually work your way through the city almost without being recognized. So it's really gonna add a new factor to the game. That plus the damage system. Also with the medical system, he went a little bit more in depth just explaining that. He said that there's a lot of different infections. They do have some illnesses such as cholera, where if you don't take medication within 2 hours you die. And another thing is, it's also very intuitive. Like he was saying that someone told a story where they were spraying people with the disinfectant, and then once that person moved away, the default was to drink it, so the character ended up drinking it, getting dehydrated, and despite all the best efforts to try to save, the character got really sick and died. So it sounds like the whole medical infection system is very intuitive, and they are working on making some big improvements there, which it's going to be awesome to see how that affects gameplay. It's going to affect bandits, heroes, and just make people play a lot differently. So I'm really excited for that. And I don't want to make this video too long. There is a few more buildings that we're going to go into, and then at the end, again, they show the restraint system, and then how effective that is. But yeah, I do hope that you enjoyed the video. If you do want to see the whole video, again, I'll put the link in the description. And if you did enjoy the video, definitely hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out a lot. And hit that subscribe button, because there's going to be a ton more content coming out. I do assure you of that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.